Gold just rallied above 2,700 once again. Gold has rallied to all-time highs during COVID-19 uncertainty, low interest rates, and massive stimulus checks. Gold rallied in March of 2022 during the Russia-Ukraine war, inflation fears, and geopolitical instability. Gold rallied during the 2008 to 2011 financial crisis. US 10-year Treasury yield just rose to 4.79, which is the highest since October of 2023 as well. Now I want you to take a very good look at this picture that I have right in front of you. You are about to see the entire system implode and the markets potentially collapse. Every single time gold has rallied, this indicated inflation fears and investors taking risk off from the market and heading over to gold, heading over to bonds, and that is exactly what we are seeing happen. On top of the potential rate hikes or a longer pause, rates higher for longer in the near future, coming into the Fed meeting, you have every recession indicator popping off, but also investors parking their money. So it's not just what you think, it's where the action actually lies. Now we are also seeing Federal Reserve Bank of New York down on site maintenance. Take that tinfoil with what you will, but the number of banks on the FDIC's quote-unquote problem list at the end of Q3 of 2024 was higher than the beginning of the global financial crisis. I'm putting all of these in line to kind of show you where we are at with the market for anybody saying that we may go and make all-time highs. Now, that is very possible, and we're going to get into the charts, but most importantly for today's video, if you stuck around for the first minute, we are going to give price targets on GameStop and AMC. I am going to give my personal thoughts on where these things are, a safe exit, a medium risk exit, and a high risk exit on AMC as well as GameStop, and where we are actually at. So I think that is meat and potatoes of this video. Watch until the end. And if you're not subscribed, almost 50% of you guys aren't subscribed, which means we would be sitting at 60,000 subscribers. You keep coming back to my channel and not subscribing, and it kind of hurts. So if you're watching on the TV or something like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now this becomes even more alarming when considering Q3 of 2024 only saw 4,517 banks reporting to the FDIC, while 8,305 banks reported to the FDIC in 2008. So if that was your main point, saying, yeah, well, there's more banks here, less banks, almost half of the banks actually reported to the FDIC than in 2008. Yet the FDIC's quote-unquote problem list was even higher for the amount of banks than 2008, which brings me to this picture. Every single thing has just been packed in together, and we are in the same cycle where these big banks, these institutions, they implode themselves, they over leverage, and this is the tide that is about to come back in. This is the major wave that is about to collapse everything. The S&P 500 very quickly. We have recently traded in this diamond pattern. Every single trade almost this year, I believe, in the Discord, in the lottery stocks positions, has been profitable. So if you're not in there, make sure to join. It's the top link in the description. We have been calling out bearish moves on the SPY, and we recently cracked this floor at 581, and we cracked it once right here. The more you test the support, the weaker it gets. However, the SPY is historically known for bouncing and then hitting its floor again and absolutely ripping heads off, and this could be very well a bear trap. But this time around, I think it is a little bit different. You see the market's very, very choppy. You also see a head and shoulders pattern, which indicates a reversal on the stock market. And then you saw a fake out of this head and shoulders, which was a bull trap. And now you're seeing a sell-off, a retest on this floor. And if this floor ends up giving out, the SPY likely this week is going to come down to 570 or 563.50, and even lower if it breaks that 555, lower, so on and so forth, which could come into the end of the year. Now, if you also historically take a look at when gold prices decided to spike, and then you correlate it with short squeezes, you can see that everything is lining up like another cycle, which brings me into this point really quick. Ryan Cohen reposted the hiring of Greg. Buck hired Greg. Buck returned video is a minute and 9 seconds. The video says he returned as one of us. 420 is Easter, indicating he has returned, indicating returning of shares in DRS. That 420 is not necessarily indicating April 20th, but more so indicating Easter, meaning he returned as one of us, or he returned, right? Indicating returning of shares and DRS, which we talked about, the Rick James post and all that other tinfoil. Now, Greg's birthday is Monday. He says his birthday is Monday, which means he might open the present, as in what's in the box. What's in the box is GameStop. Roaring Kitty showed us that. right? Roaring Kitty posted a few videos pointing towards Alter Ego. He uses Greg to send messages from time to time. On Monday, I expect DRS and Roaring Kitty to join GameStop as a domino number one. Now, even if this theory is inaccurate, here's what I want to point out. Why has Roaring Kitty been quiet? Why has he not given us a tweet for January 9th? I mean, this guy sold on us, right? That's what everyone's saying. Everyone's freaking out. No, absolutely not. Roaring Kitty does not make the stock move. He has dug deep into the stock, dug deep into the cycles, dug deep into the patterns, the implosion of the market as a whole, and he has figured out when things are going to move, and he adds the volatility into that. What's happening right now is he is waiting for the move on GameStop for the right time, and I think that time is Monday, and here's why. Everything that you're seeing is a requel, meaning GameStop coming into the week of January 13th is going to have its first leg up. Now, if this is the same move, it's going to be a 92% move. It's going to bring us to around $64. If it is larger than that, which very well could be possible, then we go higher. If it's weaker than that, and you have a disintegrating sort of uptrend over the long term, then it will be lower than that. However, based on the conditions of the overall market, I assume this is going to be a lot larger than the previous squeeze. But being conservative and not overhyping, I want to give price targets. Right now, this is GameStop on a separate exchange, so don't pay attention to the price on the right-hand side of the screen. I just used it so that I didn't have to remove my drawings on my original chart. GameStop, from the beginning of this melt up phase, rallied 400%. GameStop from the beginning, same time frame of this melt up phase, rallied 300%. Okay, at least to the same date range. Okay, this same date range is what you're looking at. 400%, 300%, indicating disintegrating returns. However, we have not reached the top of this parallel channel, in which case, if we reach the top of this parallel channel, that would be about a 724% gain, which means more upside following that. Overall, once we broke out of this parallel channel, we saw a 2,000% or so gain on GameStop. 2,000% or so gain on GameStop. If we saw something similar to that, and this is the actual GameStop chart on the NYSE, here are some price targets, in my opinion, that you would be looking at. So let me zoom in here and give you my price targets. A conservative price target, if people are very, very skeptical. Well, first of all, if there are just swing traders in this or day traders in this, they're probably going to get out around $64. That is just a very safe bet on GameStop. The next very, very conservative safe bet is going to be between $90 and $200. Okay, $90 and $200, you can write that down. That is going to be a safe bet for you on GameStop. That is going to bring us into the all-time high range. It's going to probably give us a pullback somewhere in this zone, and it's going to really, really freak people out because they don't want to hold for another 4 years or so. Next, price targets are between $275 and $340. $275, $340. This is where I see medium risk. If volatility is very, very heightened, you also have some medium risk between $790 and $600. Okay, write these levels down. This is more so high risk. It's kind of like an upper middle class range. And then the very, very wealthy range is going to be up here. This is for high risk takers. And this is likely to be $1,500 to $2,000 per share. Now, this is based off of levels. This is based off of fib levels. This is based off of previous cycles. This is based off of the parallel channel in the overall weekly chart on GameStop. Okay, the mid section of this parallel channel, which you can see right here, ends up actually coming to our conservative risk between $200 and $90. Okay, right in this zone, right in this box. Now, above this channel is where there will be some profit takers at some point, and these line up with some fib levels. And then obviously the top of this parallel channel lines up with our very, very high risk sellers up here. Okay, as far as AMC goes, there's a couple things that I wanted to point out with AMC. First of all, we are very, very, very low on the RSI, indicating we could have a lot of room higher. And I've said it time and time again, AMC does not climb higher, it gaps up. And that is exactly what we have made way for and made room for. So we have a large sell-off on the RSI and a deep incline on the unbalanced volume. Okay, a ton of people have been purchasing this stock, holding this stock, and adding to their portfolio, dollar cost averaging down, so on, so forth. And here are the price targets for AMC. Put very simply, this is, I think, the most accurate description of AMC price targets that you are going to get. And I want to let you know, if everything explodes in the market, these price targets can get blown out of the water. Nobody actually knows, including myself, historically, how high this thing goes, right? Theoretically, it can go as high as it wants, as well as GameStop, because who knows how deep of a hole these people put themselves in and who's going to bail them out, right? Anyway, based on this perfect drawn out setup from back in April, right? Same time frame, break under in December, same exact time frame, okay? Here's the price targets I have on AMC with this parallel channel drawn out that I have. And again, these could be off, maybe you go higher. Very conservative price target are going to be the scared sellers. It's like GameStop at $64 when AMC hits between $9.30 and $11.50. Okay, write that down. The very next level of also kind of scared sellers, but also a decent profit made, is going to be between $18 and $23. Okay, write that down. Anything beyond that point, this is where I believe AMC is getting risky, especially in the position they're in, unless everything explodes like we talked about. This is going to be between $73 and $95, right in this range. Next up, also same risk, 125, and this depends on volatility, to 150. Okay, that is the next range. Following that, 391 to 640. This is going to put you right above all-time highs, where there will be sellers trying to sell here, and a potential peak is around 1400 to 1700. Beyond that, something has to break here on AMC. And this is the bars pattern from the recent setup that we have, just to show you what this would look like. Okay, this is exactly what AMC would look like going forward in the cycle that we are about to play out, and I want to warn you for that. Now, this does not have to play out identical. Once again, January could have several things that are very deep down that we don't see, deep in the books, deep in the filings, or not filed, right? That causes AMC to break above this, way break above, right? Like Volkswagen, for example. Nobody expected it to go that high. Same with GameStop. Okay, these are just some price targets and some levels that I have for you guys. Moving on, we also saw GameStop post some tin themselves. This offer self-destructs Monday, aka January 13th. Okay, you see this right here. This offer self-destructs on Monday. Interesting, right? Interesting. The coincidences are just very odd. Then you have on January 10th, which is odd, right? People were so confused, but I think I explained it pretty well here in this video. Greg was still hinting at 109. He said, "Dear TikTok, I will buy your app for $109. That's my final offer." He is trolling. Then he makes a 420 reference right after. He says, "I'm so high right now." So the 109, then the 420. Obviously, this is put right in front of our faces. They are not coincidences here. Last but not least, I want to close out the video with XRP and Bitcoin. XRP is back at 250. I think anybody who got the dip buy down here at $2 was very happy. Most people were watching for, what I was watching for is anywhere under 196 or at 196, which I didn't get a grab right here. I didn't get a grab back here. And I think based on what's happening, XRP could go higher even if Bitcoin sells off here. Okay, if Bitcoin's dominance does drop, and Bitcoin does not have to drop if its dominance drops, okay, make sure that you don't get that confused. But if Bitcoin drops back to 100 or back to 91k and retests its support, I expect it to break its support, and at this point you may see things like XRP actually take moves higher. Now, I don't know if all alts will do that, and that's why I brought XRP up in this video, but I actually think people are trying to adopt XRP, and it does have some value behind it. I don't know if it has as much value as the XRP community says, where it'll go to $10 or $20 or anything like that, but I do believe if XRP gets another parabolic pump, you're coming up to about $4.68 as my first price target, in which case that would be about a 90% gain. This isn't a full crypto video. This, I believe, I gave you a very, very good video here talking about the SPY as well as GameStop and AMC price targets. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I also have multiple exit strategy videos that are a little bit old, but I think will still hold up. So make sure to go watch those. I'll try and plug them at the end screen of the video. Overall, guys, if you are not in the Discord yet, don't forget that Morgan Stanley says a March cut is still more likely than not. Just kidding. But no, if you're not in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. And banks are giving you mixed signals. Here's what's going to happen. Late January, during the Fed meeting, you're going to see a major move in the market. If we're collapsing before then, maybe you see the market bottom out. But if we have not pulled the rug beneath us, you're probably going to see that happen late January. On top of that, even if there is a rate cut in March, chances are a lot of these companies are going to report Q1 earnings, and they're not going to look as good as they're actually priced in to be. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and the Discord. The link is in the description of the video. We talk stocks and crypto in there all day long. Best vibes. I know some of the alerts are not popping off right now with the option sweeps, dark pool trades, and the market news and stuff like that. I'm going to try and fix that over the weekend so we can get those alerts popping off on Monday. But if you're not in the Discord yet, make sure to get in. Come talk with the best family in there. I'm in there on the daily. Best Vibes, the top link in the description. Right below that link is for Moomoo. It's a free broker where you can get up to 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock. Access to level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more as a retail trader. So what do you have to do? Basically, you just press the link, open a Moomoo account, and then deposit into your account once they approve you. It should take you 2 minutes. And it's the weekend, so don't sleep on it. Join Moomoo, join the Discord, subscribe, and have post notifications on. I love you all. God bless. Lottery stocks out.